You are now listening to Asking for a Friend with TalkDoc, sharing insights through real, honest, and practical ways to improve your communication and relationships. Featuring your hosts, Dr. Pamela Kreiser, Meredith Edwards-Nagel, and Teighlor Polindo.
Okay, we're going to do a rewind now on episodes 80, 81, 82, 83. If you're wondering yourself, you're in the thick of it in a relationship, or you know someone that you love and you don't know how to put the words to what you're seeing in their relationship, good or bad, check out this series. It's about how to spot red, yellow, green, and then the silly beige flags too in life. So check it out. We're going to highlight specifically here on the Rewind episode 80, how to spot green flags. Love this one for our guys too. Episode 82, red, take a look back, be honest with yourself. Just take a listen to these tips.
We wouldn't actually, from the research, really conclude that. In fact, we know that our past and our experiences do feed into how we end up where we are. It might be that you've had certain things modeled in the media, like Teighlor said, or you've had family members model different patterns or traits, maybe even normalize things that aren't normal. And that could be friends, that could be anyone around you. But sometimes we forget that, for example, someone who's had a family trauma, they might struggle to recognize red flags at all because they didn't see them modeled out in a way that was productive. And so as you're kind of thinking through these topics, I don't know, even the friends that might ask you your opinion, to have a lot of compassion in talking with them and not say you should know or you should have figured this out, but say you, for some reason, we don't need to know what reason, but for some reason this red flag wasn't seen. And because it wasn't seen, we see it now. And we have all the compassion in seeing it now versus shaming someone for not seeing it. And whether that's from your family background, from your experience, just not knowing or being manipulated, it's just hard to know. But I don't think anything but compassion belongs there when we're helping a friend.
Yeah. It's always easier to spot it for someone else, too.
Yes.
Like, let's just be honest. It's different when it's for yourself, which is, again, maybe why you should listen to friends.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to her in Comp Theory. How's it going? And she said, well, I need to talk to you after class, and it's very important. And I said, okay.
Ooh.
So she comes up after class, and she goes, so do you remember when I took you in her personal and I was getting married over spring break? And I said, yeah. And she said, you had just lectured on red flags in relationships. And I went home and broke up with him and we lost our $13,000 deposit. And I told my parents and his parents, and we broke up that night after class. It was a night class, 6 weeks before the wedding. She said, thank you so much for preventing that giant mistake. And I said, I'm not the one that prevented it. And she said, no, but she said she was giving me more credit. And I said, I have to give you a lot of credit because that is a very difficult thing to do especially when you're that close.
Yeah.
Years of dating in. And then now you're 6 weeks ahead of the wedding. She said gifts were there. They had to all be returned to the people. And her parents were very nice about it. I have lost touch with her. So if you are hearing this and it's us, call me, email me. But I haven't thought about that story for a long time, but I really have to say I deliver material because it's part of my job. The bravery really comes even for any of you on this episode saying, do I need to take some action? The really hard part is not us giving the content. The really hard part is taking the action. Right.
And so that part of my brain that was so used to being lit up with the chaos or like the ups and downs or whatever, it wasn't doing it for me. It was just good. And then you create passion in other ways and it's way more fun. Yeah, for sure.
Your body positioning when you said that was like to relax your body.
Yeah.
I can actually fully relax with this person because I don't have chaos on the doorstep.
Yeah.
How I visualize it is my partner doesn't bring chaos into my home. But if chaos comes in, we fight it together.
Yeah, like that.
So we don't bring it in. We don't act like it to each other, but we will fight it together as a team if that needs to happen.
Yeah, you guys will. Go Kreisers. All right, 8th flag.
Number 8, you feel good about yourself when you're with them. And we talked about this in our red flags. I think it was kind of if you're questioning everything about yourself, that's the red flag. So the green flag is if you're feeling good about yourself. And this is important for everyone, particularly people with trauma histories or those who struggle with self-worth for other reasons. So Dr. Green, the ability to value yourself because someone else sees your strengths is a beautiful thing. As Dr. Green puts it, a healthy relationship can be a mirror that lets you see your best self. Sometimes I struggle thinking, you only see what the other person sees in you. I don't like that. Like, I want you to love yourself regardless of what anyone else around you. But it's really fun to see yourself in a new light. And I think it's really positive for other people to kind of highlight, like, this is where I see your strengths and see the beauty of your personality and all of that. So if your partner's doing that and they're good at communicating that to you, definitely big green flag.
A couple of themes that I'm hearing in this that I would observe. I don't think you necessarily understand all the green flags unless you've done some self-work.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what your boundaries are and you haven't established those, then you have no real way to see if they respect your boundaries because you haven't done any of that work.
Okay, so we've listened to some good, bad, and ugly little clips in there. Don't forget to go back and check out the full series. Again, that's episode 80, 81, 82, and 83, how to spot different color flags in your life and yourself and those that you love. Put the words to things you maybe don't know how to necessarily, and check that out with us.
Once again, thank you for joining us today. Please remember to rate, share, and subscribe to our podcast. And thank you for listening to Asking for a Friend.
Let us know what you thought of the episode. Our email is hello@afafpodcast.com. This show is for educational purposes only and is copyrighted. Written permission must be granted before syndication or rebroadcasting. Thanks for listening to Asking for a Friend with TalkDoc.